Andrea Yates was born Andrea Pia Kennedy in Houston, Texas, the youngest of five children from Jutta Karen Kohler, a German immigrant, and Andrew Emmett Kennedy, whose parents were Irish immigrants. Yates suffered from bulimia and depression during her teen years, and at the age of 17, told a friend that she was contemplating suicide. Yates graduated from Milby High School in 1982. She was the class valedictorian, captain of the swim team, and an officer in the National Honor Society. Yates then completed a 2-year pre-nursing program at the University of Houston and graduated from the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. From 1986 until 1994, Yates worked as a registered nurse at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. In summer 1989, she met Russell Rusty Yates, a NASA engineer, at the Sunscape Apartments in Houston. They moved in together and were married on April 17, 1993. Yates and her husband, a devout Christian, announced that they would seek to have as many babies as nature allowed, and bought a 4-bedroom house in Friendswood, Texas. They had 4 sons, Noah, John, Paul, and Luke. Yates became depressed after the birth of her 4th child, Luke. She was constantly shaking and chewing her fingernails. The next day, she attempted suicide by overdosing on pills. She was hospitalized and prescribed antidepressants. Right after she was released from the hospital, she tried to commit suicide again by holding a knife to her throat, but Rusty took it away as Andrea begged him to let her die. She was hospitalized again and given more medication. After another stay at the hospital, she appeared to be stable. In July 1999, Yates had a nervous breakdown and tried to kill herself twice that summer. She was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. A psychiatrist advised the couple to not have any more children, as it would guarantee future psychotic depression. They did not want to follow the doctor's advice and instead had a 5th child, Mary, about 2 months after Yates was discharged from the hospital. They decided to have as many children as possible for religious reasons. The couple had become highly religious over time and also corresponded with a controversial preacher named Michael Warrenecki. Yates seemed to be doing well until the death of her father on March 12, 2001. She then stopped taking medication, started cutting herself, read the Bible obsessively, and stopped feeding Mary. She was hospitalized again. On May 3, 2001, she went into a near catatonic state and filled the bathtub with water to drown her children, but at the last second, decided not to do it. Yates was hospitalized again, but the doctors assumed she had filled the bathtub to drown herself. The doctors warned Rusty not to leave Andrea alone with the kids, but he didn't listen. He believed that all depressed people just needed a swift kick in the pants to get them motivated and began leaving the kids alone with his wife so that she did not depend on him and his mother for childcare. He thought that this would force Andrea to snap out of the depression and be a mother to their children. On June 20th, 2001, Rusty left for work, leaving Andrea alone to watch the children. Rusty's mother, Dora Yates, had been scheduled to arrive an hour later to take over for Andrea. During that time, Yates filled the bathtub with water and started luring her children into the bathroom, one at a time. She started drowning each of her children, then putting their lifeless bodies on her bed. She first killed 2-year-old Luke, then 3-year-old Paul, then 5-year-old John. She then killed 6-month-old Mary. 7-year-old Noah walked in on the act just as his mother finished killing his sister. When Noah saw his sister's corpse floating in the bathtub, he realized his mom was a homicidal maniac and ran. Yates caught up to him and overpowered him. As a child, he was helpless against the full-grown woman, so he was dragged kicking and screaming to the bathroom. Yates pushed him into the bathtub and held him down until he slowly drowned to death next to the floating body of his dead sister. Yates left him floating in the tub and laid Mary in John's arms in the bed. She then called the police, repeatedly saying she needed an officer, but refusing to say why. She then called Rusty and told him to come home right away. Yates confessed to drowning her children. She tried the insanity defense, but a jury rejected the defense and found her guilty in March 2002. The prosecution had sought the death penalty, but the jury refused to kill her. She was sentenced to life in prison with eligibility for parole in 40 years. On January 6, 2005, the court reversed the convictions because a psychiatrist stated in a testimony that Yates got the idea to drown her children from an episode of the show Law and Order. But such an episode of Law and Order did not exist, so the court decided that the jury might have been influenced by the doctor's false testimony and therefore a new trial would be necessary. On January 9th, 2006, Yates again pled not guilty by reason of insanity. On February 1st, 2006, she was released from prison and admitted to a mental hospital. On July 26, 2006, Yates was found not guilty by reason of insanity. She was transferred to Kerrville State Hospital, a mental facility in Kerrville, Texas, where she remains to this day. Following the trial, Rusty divorced Andrea and started dating a woman named Laura Arnold. Rusty and Laura got married and had a son together. Laura would later file for divorce. While in prison, Yates said that she thought about killing her children for 2 years before she actually did it. She was mad that they thought she was not a good mother and claimed that her sons were developing improperly. She told her jail psychiatrist, "It was the seventh deadly sin. My children weren't righteous. They stumbled because I was evil. The way I was raising them, they could never be saved. They were doomed to perish in the fires of hell." That's the end of the video. If you like the video, then like and subscribe. It only takes 2 seconds and it would really help me out. Feel free to check out the other videos on my channel.